That's what
Yeah. Probably.
Hello, welcome everyone. It is Karen from Stamping on the Back Porch, and I have with me a fellow quilter, a fellow team member, and also now a friend, Julie Heights. So,
Good morning, everybody.
Julie is a quilter and a birder and a card maker, and you can find her. We'll put a link to where to find her, but her Facebook name is the Chirpy Card Maker of Quilts.
And more.
And more. Okay, see? I'm working on it. But the reason we're doing this today is it has been, this is, no one has shown up yet, so I hope we're live. I mean, we just never know how this works. But I think we're live. So we'll see. We'll go on. We will go on, and then this will be posted. This is the reality of what live is like, you guys. But we have had so much fun with the pocket cards. And if you're a member of the Back Porch Stampers, there have been well over 100 different cards, pocket cards put on that our community has been making. And it's just so fun to share in idea. Oh, good. We do have people on here. You know, I think there's just a delay. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It has been so fun to see what everybody makes. And then I got this fun message from Julie saying, "Ooh, I have an idea that ties into what you're doing. And I just want to know if you'd want to collaborate on this." So this is what we're doing. We are taking our pocket cards and making a whole new challenge, taking it a step further. And I'm going to let Julie explain this story.
Thanks, Karen. Friday night, I sat down to make my pocket cards, and as I was making them, of course, I'm always thinking quilt. So I mean, it's natural that a quilt's got to go in there. And all of a sudden, my heart felt different. Something was put on my heart, and I thought, what if what if I could send someone a pocket quilt? And we all know how comforting quilts are. And, it just was put on my heart. And so my very first card was this one. And here is a little quilt that they can tangibly hold. And I didn't put this is just flat on this side, but I did have a place that I could write them something comforting or encouraging. But it just said, it just was speaking to me that there's somebody out there I feel could really use this right now. And so my wheels started spinning, and I thought, I got to get a hold of Karen. I've got an idea. So I was trying everything Friday night. I had a wrong phone number for Tim, and I'm like, why isn't she looking at, I was so excited. Well, I had so many things wrong. So I called Karen on Sunday, and I asked her to consider collaborating with me on this idea of sending a pocket quilt. I thought we'll call it Project Pocket Quilt, and see about mailing out a quilt that is comforting and just a warm hug, but in paper form, because we can't hug like we are accustomed to. And so I was just spinning off the idea of quilts and comfort and sending a hug. And so that's where it started. And then you were so gracious to say yes, but you were so fast at let's get this done. Oh my gosh. I thought this would be on the line somewhere, but it's been great. And I would just like to reach out to our Facebook communities that we've built on our pages and ask them to send a pocket quilt to someone that they know needs some encouragement. They need their spirits lifted. Just to let them know that I'm hugging you this way, and I'm here for you, and I want to make your day better. So, project.
So I'm just going to share what excited me about this. I thought, and I am a quilter. I guess I'm always a quilter. I'm probably more of a former quilter, but I love quilts. And I know a lot of us put in the chats if you are a quilter. But even if you're not, a lot of, we're crafters. We love quilts. We love the effort that goes into that. And we also know quilters. And I thought, just thinking of quilts gives you kind of that hug. And so we really saw this as a special kind of card. This is a card for comfort. So it goes beyond all the general, like happy birthday and all of that. So one of the things I picked up immediately said, let's do a challenge and have people make quilt cards. Oh, and by the way, Julie's going to show you some other ideas. So, we have plenty of ideas here. And also share the story of who you're sending it to, because we're also all about the stories. And so I'm not saying sending it to Uncle Jim, but it's more like I'm sending it to my friend who is in hospice. I'm sending it to my elderly friend who hasn't been able to see anyone, for all this time. But I think when we share reasons for why we do something and who we're giving it for, it encourages us to think of other people too. It brings other people into our mind. It's just like a little tangible thing that we can do with our love of card making to make a difference. So I think that's really exciting. So we have a request to put the card up closer. I'm putting up a blog post right after this. And so these pictures will be on there. And then what we're also going to do is, in the Back Porch Stampers, of course, we're going to want to see your pocket card. So I'm going to start a thread right after that. And the reason we would love to have you put your cards on that thread is that even a month, 2 months, 3 months from now, if you want to come back and see, you thought, oh yeah, I remember we did quilt cards. I wanted to see those again. You can put in the search bar. And then, so Holly's explaining all this to me. I said, I didn't even know you could do that. You could put that in there and you could go back and find this thread and see lots of ideas for quilt pocket cards. So I think that is really exciting. So our goal is to send out 50 in the community, to send out 50 comfort cards and share 50 stories. So I'm going to let Julie show a couple more ideas.
Okay. I know there's a lot of quilters who are making quilt cards because they're doing the projects that I'm sharing over on my page. But we designed 3 very simple quilt patterns, so we leave nobody out. Everybody can make these cards. Karen has a PDF that will show them. But I had to take it a little bit further and get a little bit harder. And I did this quilt pattern. This is called Return of the Swallows. I was playing with bird themed patterns. And so you can get as, I don't want to say difficult or complicated, but you can step it up a notch from a very simple 1-inch square or the strip quilts or the strip pieces. And, do this with any quilt pattern. So it's good for beginners or advanced, like that. Here are some cards I did. And what came to mind when I was coming up with these other examples was, don't forget the men. When, usually for me, when I think of sending out a card, it's usually to my girlfriends or family and stuff. But don't forget the men in your life. They are struggling too, especially if households have come down to one income. They're taking on providing for their family, and they carry burdens and worries too, just like we do. So don't forget the men in your life. I went with just the misty moonlight and a light gray, thinking of men, that would like a hug. And to know that they're thought about too. And this one I did do with, being able to open it up and write a little note. I'm always backwards when I'm trying. When you want to go right, you're supposed to go left in order to get the view. But you can, just don't forget the men in your life who could use a hug. And then
I will just add, Jen just made a comment here that one of her agents just told her she has to put her 15-year-old dog down tomorrow. And that reminds me, other occasions too. You know, it is. And so I just love that. I mean, a heartfelt card for that. And yes, I have some questions. There will be a PDF both in here. I'll post that afterwards, and all the directions will be on my blog right after this too. So,
and you may have a grandchild or know of a child in the hospital that would like a quilt. So here's a little pocket quilt, and it's got for the whale of a time. So you can make these for men, for young children. And then my other one was this one. This is just a simple 12 patch. And it's just 1-inch squares, and your quilt is 3x4 so that it fits on the base that Karen has in her directions. And what I do, I always do my quilts on a piece of grid paper. You could use copy paper. The grid paper for me keeps me in the line so that my quilt doesn't start spreading out this way. So it keeps me contained. But then I trim it down and I just glue it to the front.
and I'm going to say again here, I've done plenty of quilt cards over my year, and I have videos, I'm sure, on quilt cards. And I never thought about using grid paper until Julia said that. And it's like duh, that's so obvious.
You're so good at
So it keeps it much straighter. Mine all get a little wonky. So I said, you know, it doesn't matter how long we've been making cards. We share tips and we learn from each other. I love that about community. And I also want to throw in, if you don't follow Julie, you're going to want to go over, and I will put a link to her Facebook page again too. Every week she does a new quilt card of some type. And you just want to do that. So I think that's really fabulous. And so if you're looking for more ideas too for this, these are like mini quilts you're making. It's a 3x4.
Yeah.
But she has all kinds of quilt cards of different things and different patterns. And it just helps get you excited. And I love people are saying, oh, I know who I'm making my card for. And I thought, oh, and thank you all for sharing. Rebecca says, share this. It's too wonderful an idea not to share. Oh, that's so wonderful. And you're right, Donna. It's a great way to use up scraps. We could all make a bunch of these cards.
Yeah.
And yes, and Ruby, yes, kids are struggling now too. So love this. And Holly's saying, yes, go ahead and follow Julie, everyone. And,
I think that we're going to blow 50 out of the water in one day.
I know I said 50 and Joy said, I think we'll do more than that, you know. But, you know, the catch here is we want to see your card, but we also want the story. We want 50 or more stories of just a basic thing. It just gives us all ideas. I'm just loving that. And you know, this is really amazing, but Julie is taking this even a step further. So this is really exciting. And I'm going to have her explain what she's going to do with this.
I am going to share this on my personal Facebook page, and I am going to offer to my friends, if there is someone that you know would love a pocket quilt and a hug from you, get a hold of me, give me their name and address. Excuse me. I will make the quilt card for you, and I will send it for you. You just give me their name and address. If you want it to stay anonymous and just leave them wondering, who did I get this from? Or if you want me to write something in there for you, give me that information. I will make this card and send it on your behalf. So, I may be very busy.
And I said, you know, if you're busy, then it would also be great to put out. We'd love to see if any of you want to do the same, or if you want to help provide some of these cards. I mean, it is something we could put out there. I just think one of the things I love about the Back Porch Stampers, you guys are a card giving community too. People do put up a need, and people send cards. And if you want to join Julie in this idea, follow her and do this. I just think it's an awesome idea for those of you who are happy to make cards too, to do that on your personal page. I mean, what a way we have to impact the world in our corner of the world.
Right.
You know, something that we can do. So I am thrilled to have Julie on here. And you can go to her page and ask her questions. You can ask me questions. I will put all of the links right in this of where to find her after this. And I will have a blog post up yet today, and I'll have the PDF in this group. So I'm in the Back Porch Stampers group. So if you're watching this from Stamping on the Back Porch, you want to come join us in the Back Porch Stampers, because that's where you're going to see all the cards that people make.
Yeah.
So I am so thrilled to have Julie on my team, to have gotten to know her. Crafting just brings us together in just very special ways. And when we can use our gifts to impact others, what a win-win.
And Karen, I want to thank you, because back in October, when you were encouraging us that were wanting to get our business going and starting a page, a lot of the women that I have gotten to know and look forward to seeing on my Thursday morning lives are because of you. And I just want to thank you for that.
You're so welcome. And I love that we are a shared community, that we love to support each other, that we care about each other. And again, the name of your page is?
The Chirpy Card Maker of Quilts and More.
And once you go follow, it always just shows up as soon as you start putting it in. So you just search it for the first time. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And thanks you guys for sharing. That is the single most special thing you can do. It helps get the word out. And from the bottom of my heart, it helps both of us individually, but it also helps the whole community in sharing this out. So we just love what we do, and we love that we can use what we do. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.